It's your boy Minute. Welcome to the Vendetta Army.
Still love that intro. What is happening? What's going on, people? It's your boy, Big Will, Minute. As you can tell, we are back. And this time, AEW Dynamite review. People have asked if I was going to do it. So, of course, I had to oblige them. Of course, I'm going to review this. Why wouldn't I? You know? Before we get started, just like to everybody look your boy up and go ahead and smash that like button. Smash it, smash it, smash it. You know how the YouTube algorithms go. Hit that like button, go ahead and hit that bell to get notifications when I post the videos. Before we get started going through the card, let me just give my initial. As a person who lived through the Monday Night Wars, it was kind of nostalgic, kind of weird, and kind of awesome to be flicking back and forth between USA and TNT last night. Because I was watching both, because, of course, NXT premiered its 2-hour show last night, conveniently at the same time AEW. They've been doing 2 hours for 2 weeks, but it was, 1 hour on USA, and then they would flip to the WWE Network and do the second hour. But this time they did all 2 hours on USA to go head to head with AEW. They say they're not, but why else would they do that? So if you wanted to watch both, like myself, flick back and forth. But I didn't know that TNT replayed Dynamite as soon as it ended. If I'd have knew that, I'd have just watched NXT because I missed a whole lot of NXT. I caught quite a bit of it, and of course it ran longer, so I caught the end. But I hope AEW. Maybe they don't. They want people to still check their program out, even if they don't check it out live, But don't know what I'm gonna do next week. I don't know if they do it again next week. I may just watch NXT and then watch the AEW recap because both shows were great, and I hate missing anything by flicking back and forth, when one person go to commercial. But there was so much picture in picture that even when they would go to commercial, normally I said when they go to commercial, I'm gonna flip to the other program. But they did picture in picture so much that I was like, man, I'm really not commercial. I'm still get to see it. So we'll see what happens next week. But it's not about NXT. It's about AEW. I enjoyed it. Production value, I was like, wow. Big arena. I don't know what the crowd was, what the attendance was, but it looked packed. It looked like a pay-per-view. It looked like when NXT is in the Barclay. That's what it looked like, and it was like it was pretty much all older people, with no kids, so it was like an adult show. Announcers were cussing. JR said "holy shit" a couple of times. They were saying "damn," and there was no blood. Well, some people got bloodied up, but it wasn't like when Cody and Dustin went at it in the first match and they left that thing a bloody mess. They didn't do none of that. But I will say that this was a show for hardcore wrestling fans, or what it was. And low key, it made NXT look like an indie show. Of course, I know that's what NXT is shooting for because they do all theirs in Full Sail, the little arena that they do there, and but now that they move into 2 hours, they may look back on this and look at the just visual effect of it and realize that they looked. AEW looked like it was like a pay-per-view. It looked great. The stage was awesome. Everybody looked good. The lighting was good. It was kind of weird that the camera angles. I guess I got used to it. Maybe they stopped it. They had like about 3 or 4 cameras, and they just kept switching between angles a lot. Bow, 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 bow. I was like, "Ooh, this is different. I got to get my eyes used to this." It's making me dizzy at first. I got used to it, or maybe they stopped. That pyro and fire and smoke um, wasn't the best, but they did it. You know, um, like I said, referees were wearing bigger referee shirts. I would like those to be more form fitting. If you ask me, they look kind of weird, like they were hanging off of them. Look like it made it look like all the referees had just had like gastric bypass surgery or something. I mean, they look kind of weird to me. You had Tony Schiavone, um, good old Jr., and then I can't think of the guy in the mask name. They were the announcers, and they did a great job. They kept me thoroughly engaged. Anytime you get to hear Jr. on commentary, you know it's going to be good. Um, uh, uh, Jason Roberts, I think that was his name, the old WWE announcer who used to go John Cena. He was the ring announcer. Um, there was no really vignettes or promos, or basically a lot of talking. Wasn't a lot of talking. Except, I mean, they did a couple of things interacting. Jay and Silent Bob were in the crowd, uh, which pretty much set up the tag team tournament. That's all they was there to do that for. Because they're going next week. They're going to have a tag team tournament to crown the tag team champions. That should be pretty great. So it wasn't a lot of talking. It was just straight wrestling. Just straight wrestling, which was great. Just like we do on Raw Talk, I got the Bleacher Report here. One thing I will say, there were a lot of commercials, and they trying to, they gotta pay for this, so they were a lot of commercials were rolling. There was like a commercial, boom, 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 commercials kept rolling. I was like, wow, but it was picture in picture, so we didn't really get to lose that much of the action. The first match was American Nightmare Cody. We gotta love Mr. Rhodes. The American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, and he went up against Sammy Guevara. Now this young cat, of course, he came out. They booed the mess out of him. Cody came out, the crowd popped. I mean, it was. I mean, they loved them some Cody Rhodes. He's like, kind of like how everybody is so behind. When Becky Lynch first got introduced, and everybody just went crazy for her. Like the energy, and it was like, man, what the hell is going on? That's what Cody's getting right now. Except his is deserved because everybody know his story, getting underused, and they play that up a lot. Like on the leading up to it, the little vignettes. It was like they do what using him right in the E. So he left, went on his own, and made a name for himself. And I think the fans resonated with that, and you can tell by the reaction that he gets. They just love this dude. I'm gonna read through this. The Washington, D.C. fans greeted him with a hero's welcome, while the ever-confident Sammy Guerrero was met with chorus of boos. But it was the young star who seized the spotlight, out-wrestled his second-generation opponent early, delivering a standing moonsault for a near fall. Guerrero had answered for everything that Cody tried until a snap powerbomb put him down for a 2 count. The youngest member of the Rhodes dynasty trapped his opponent in a figure 4 his father was familiar with at the height of his popularity, but Guerrero made it to the sanctuary of the bottom rope, forcing the break. Cody continued to build momentum, dropping Guerrero in a delayed front suplex. Guerrero followed that showboating with a big kick, but the babyface answered with a springboard stunner for another near fall. Guerrero answered with a springboard cutter for his own 2 count. A bicycle kick dropped the best ever off the apron into the floor. Looking to build on it, Cody launched himself through the ropes with a topo suicide, but an alert Guerrero pulled Brandy Rhodes in front of her husband. The distraction allowed him to post Cody. Back in the ring, top rope moonsault missed, as did a standing one. A running shooting star press didn't though, and Guerrero earned yet another near victory. With Guerrero draped across the rope, Brandy got a measure of revenge when she, with the assistance of a high heel, and Cody executed a disaster kick for a strong false finish. An inverted suplex failed to put away Guerrero, leaving Cody grasping for straws. Then the heel escaped a vertebraker attempt, jumped to the top rope and drove his opponent to the mat with a super Spanish fly. Cody caught him with a small package to score a hard-fought pinfall win. After the match, commentator Tony Schiavone attempted to get a word with Cody, and Guerrero interrupted him. The heel provided just enough of a distraction for Chris Jericho to enter the ring and brutally assault Cody, first with the AEW Championship and then with the steel chair onto the arena floor. So, it was a good match, especially to open up the show. I guess they wanted to start the show off with, to keep people there, because at the same time, over on NXT, they were doing their championship match between Adam Cole and Matt Riddle. So there's like, we got to start off hot, and this match was good. Didn't know much about the young kid, Guerrero, but he impressed me. He's young, he's super young, so that's a good upside, having such a young talent there. Hope he sticks around, especially if this thing pops off like it should. That'd be nice for them to keep somebody like that around, because he performed well. I like this move set. He's real athletic. Did a lot of good things. Cody presses me so much in the ring now. I really haven't paid, because everybody knows I don't watch much of the other stuff, unless it's on TV. Like if AEW wasn't on TNT, I would be going out of my way to watch AEW. I'm sorry, I'm just not. I'm an E guy. It's on USA, and now gonna be on Fox. I'm gonna watch it. I'm not about to go out of my way to try to pirate or find ways to watch other stuff. So I watch YouTubes and clips, and I've seen Cody, but it's my first time really watching him since he's been gone, and he's impressed me so much. The confidence resonating off of him is palpable. Looks great in the ring, feeds off the crowd energy. Brandy looks like a treat. Apparently she's a wrestler now, so we'll see how that is, because I never really saw her in the ring. She was always just a valet, or a ring announcer when she was in the E. So we'll see. But this match, great match. And at the end, Guerrero actually shook Cody's hand. So I don't know if he was, I guess if you watch to the end, what happened at the end. Of course he was in on it, but Jericho came and Jericho beat him down. He started beating him down. Then he went to commercial break. I was like, Danny gonna go to commercial break? While he beating him down, I thought maybe he'll beat him down and that was it. But during the picture-in-picture commercial break, he continued to beat him down like the commercials was playing. And then the picture-in-picture, Jericho was still beating the mess out of Cody Rhodes till they come back from break, and he still beat him down. I was like, dang. And that's how you start out in pay-per-view. So all in all, good way to start it. Good way to start it. Next match, we have Brandon Cutter versus Maxwell Jacob Friedman. This dude reminds me, Maxwell, it reminds me of Mr. Perfect. You know what I'm saying? Instead of the towel, he got the little scarf he comes down with. He's just extremely arrogant. Good on the mic. He would come down for his entrance, and he made him stop the music so he can do the typical heel stuff to the crowd, which worked. He was real loud on the mic, confident, and for him to be so young, he's young too, another young talent. Good job on y'all with the young talent. Most people would get rattled by a crowd like that, like yelling asshole. He just spoke louder into the mic and kept speaking till they shut the hell up. Dude, great. He took the crowd back. That's a good thing to have at that age. He went up against Brandon Cutler, which is one of the Young Bucks' friends from back in the day. They all came up together, but he decided to go get a family, so he left. Now he's back, and of course they put their boy on because it's their company. The elite. Brandy, Cody, the Young Bucks, and Kenny Omega. It's their company. So of course they're gonna put their boys on. The TNT audience was introduced to the loudmouth, egotistical Maxwell Jacob Friedman, known to AEW faithfully simply as MJF, when he battled Brandon Cutler in a one-on-one action. The brash, cocky competitor took control of the match for an opening bell, but Cutler scored a sunset flip for a near fall. In alert, MJF raked the eyes, though, slowing his opponent's momentum. Hanging him on the rope, and then sending him shoulder first into the ring post. MJF targeted the left arm of his opponent. Cutler fought back, delivered a picture perfect uh, tope suicide, and hammered away with the opponent. Seizing an opportunity created by the momentarily referee distracted, MJF applied a armbar and forced a tap out. Now, what we didn't see, they didn't mention in this match, was that I don't know if Cutler did it on purpose or if it, because if it was on purpose, the way they no sold it and continued with the match was perfect because he went outside the ring. Something happened to where he looked like he hurt his leg, and then when he went up to the top rope, he couldn't stand sturdy enough and he fell off. And then he completely went to selling the leg again, and then that's when the referee distraction happened, and Maxwell got his arm bar and got the pin count. But I was wondering, I was like, dude, was that a botch? Did he fall off the rope on purpose, or was? Cause I don't know. I don't know if it was on purpose or if it was they just rolled with it so well. And again, kudos to Cutler for not being around that long and still being able to float a match like that. And kudos to Maxwell if they all just rolled with it like that to make it to where we scratching our head not knowing whether that was legit or if that was supposed to happen or if it was a botch. Either way I go, I'm totally okay with it. Good match. I was impressed with Cutler. You can tell he's gonna be probably not going to win very much. He's probably going to be the person that they send out there to take L's, more than likely. And Maxwell's probably going to be in the title picture pretty soon. I'm anxious to see if they introduce a secondary title in AEW. Because you can't just have the only title around or the tag titles and then world title. Not unless they bring in people who are working on independence, bring them in with their belts too. Just like on their first couple of shows, the Young Bucks had some other tag team belts. So, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. And then we had Hangman Adam Page versus Pac. For those of you who don't know, Pac is Neville. So, Theory was looking forward to this match because, I ain't seen Neville since he bounced. So, and Adam Page, come on now, everybody knows about Adam Page from the Bullet Club, baby. Bullet Club. So, originally scheduled for Double or Nothing on May 25th, the match between Hangman Adam Page and Pac finally occurred in an AEW ring on the premiere episode of Dynamite. Like I said, they were supposed to wrestle, but I think either Pac got hurt or something happened where it didn't happen. Intensified by the Basher's disrespectful interruption of Page's post-show interview at All Out 30 on August 31st, the bout would have significantly implications on the championship standings going forward. Pac stalled early, refusing to enter the squared circle and drawing a ton of heat from the live crowd. Yeah, they even had to go to commercial break. Like they did both entrances, but then he didn't want to get in the ring, so they went to commercial break. No picture-in-picture this time, so we didn't know what was going on. When they came back, he was still not getting in the ring. So it was good heel stuff by Pac right there. An exchange of forearms to the face started the match. Each competitor jockeying for position. Page gained the early upper hand, backing his rival into a corner and delivering a nasty knife edge chop that sent him scurrying to the floor. Page followed him out, taking the fight to the grizzled vet. A tope suicide leveled Pac and continued his momentum. A follow-away slam and running shoot star plus followed. Pac finally managed to cut Page and delivered a moonsault to the floor that wiped him out. Back inside, a springboard 450 nearly earned the Bastard the win, but Page shot his shoulder off the mat to ensure the fight continued. As the heels scaled the ropes, Hangman created a separation, rolling across the ring. Pac answered him with a running dropkick, again returned to the top rope. Page cut him off and joined him on top, where he delivered a super fallaway slam. A corner dropkick followed. It appeared Page was nearing victory. An ill-timed charge resulted in him crashing and burning on the floor, where Pac renewed his assault. A Mitchell shotgun dropkick down Page as his opponent built his own momentum. Chants of Yuri Bastard filled the arena as Pac continued his beatdown at the 10-minute mark. Some trash talk on the part of the heel opened a door for Page, who exploded back into the match with a spine buster. Sensing he was in trouble, Pac rolled out of the ring, but Page met him with a top rope moonsault. Back inside the squared circle, Pac escaped and a buckshot lariat delivered an undetected low blow and executed his jaw-dropping red arrow and tapped out Page for the win. So what he did his red arrow, that amazing move he does, landed on him, stomach down, and then went right into his submission move. Page tapped out. And when they said that at the 10-minute mark, because like old school, like NWA wrestling, 10 minutes gone by, 10 minutes. I was like, oh snap. Because I guess all the matches are 20-minute matches with 20-minute time limits. So they possibly could get some draws. Wow, they taking it back old school. This is a great match, man. You can tell these two got history. This is my first time really seeing a Hangman Page. Like really watching him. So I was real impressed with him because they can go. He got some good talent. I do believe he's fairly young too, and you know, Pac's not old. So kudos to AEW, man, with this young talent, experienced talent, and they putting on a damn good show up to this point. A damn good show. Crowd was into it. Crowd was going bananas. Crowd was going freaking nuts. I was like, man, go ahead, AEW, doing they damn thing. And next, it was there are mixed feelings about this. I've been seeing all around. I'm not gonna lie. This next one I didn't watch as much. It was for the women's title, the AEW women's title between Rio, the like 95-pound chick from over in Japan, and then Nyla Rose, who that's a thick chick right there. That's a thick chick. At the end of the match, she powerbombed a dude, like standing powerbomb, picked him up. Kind of lost him at first, but picked him up. Blue. But I turned it over to NXT because my girl Shayna Baszler was defending her title against Gargano's wife. So I had to watch that. So I watched more of that than this. I'm just gonna be honest, because like I said, I'm reading to you from Bleacher Report, but some of that stuff I didn't see because I was flicking back and forth. Because it's Wednesday Night Wars, so the remote was getting his work. So, but I'll read what happened. Britt Baker joined Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross. Excalibur, that's the guy's name with the mask, on commentary for the historic showdown between Nyla Rose and Rio. One of these two women emerged from the match as the first ever AEW Women's Champion. Would it be the consummate underdog Rio or the hometown native beast? Because I guess she's from Washington, D.C., so the crowd was thoroughly behind her. Rose charged Rio who sidestepped her and fired off a flurry of forearms. A dropkick stunned the larger competitor, and a second brought her to her knees. Rose struggled early until her shoulder block and big splash halted her opponent's onslaught. Rose worked her over, grounded her, and applied a STF. She looked to force a tap out, but the resilient Rio fought her way to the ropes, grabbing the bottom one and forcing the break. Rio survived a delayed suplex attempt and went to a German suplex, but Rose powered out. She blasted her with a nasty back elbow, to which the babyface responded with a running knee strike that sent Rose to the floor. Rio scaled the ropes and came off with a crossbody. Rose caught her and executed a backbreaker to the floor. Rose teased using a chair, but the official pulled it away from her. Instead, the heel sent Rio crashing into the guardrail, leaving her riddled with pain. Rose grabbed chairs from under the ring, piled Rio on them. She leaped off the ring apron and crashed back first on the weapons as her opponent rolled out of the way. Rio delivered a big double stomp to the back and scored a close two out of it. The babyface followed with a crossface of her own. Rose utilized her power advantage, though, and escaped. Rio delivered a roll-through double stomp, to which Rose responded with a massive Samoan drop for a near fall. I need to check and see if she's part of which family she's part of. Rose draped Rio across the top rope and scaled the ropes for a knee drop to the back of the head. The high spot was still not enough to put away Rio. Though she managed a dramatic kick out, Rose reapplied the STF, but the gutsy Rio refused to submit. Rose released her grip and sent Rio for a powerbomb. Rio tried to back body drop her way out, but crumbled under the frame of the opponent. That looked nasty too. I don't know if that was a botch, if if um if Rose was supposed to help her actually flip her, but it looked ridiculous. Like that little woman was gonna break her leg trying to reverse that on. It was crazy. Crowd was loving it though. Rose responded with a Death Valley driver, but Rio again got her shoulder off the mat in time to preserve her title aspirations. Rose climbed the top rope, but Rio cut her off. A series of flurry forearms to the chest gave way to an incredible suplex and a close 2 count. Three double knees finally earned Rio the hard fought victory. And Rio got, to me, to be honest, this was probably the best match of the night. The crowd was totally into it. It was that underdog feel, you know. They got that magic in their first episode, you know. The person who's clearly shouldn't even be in the ring with the other person. She got skills, but she's just so small. That woman was just so big. But she kept trying to like pick her up, and like there was no weight disadvantage. But you know, Rose overconfident. Great storytelling. Overconfidence got the better of her, and Rio with the crowd completely behind her. I mean, it started out because you know this is Rose's hometown. Of course, they was behind her, but you gotta root for the underdog, and they eventually got behind her. So this little small woman, 95 pounds soaking wet, ends up getting the victory and becoming the first ever AEW Women's Championship. Side note: I don't like the women's title. It looked like something you buy at Walmart. They need to do better than that. And then, like I said, after the match, they're I guess the person that's in charge of like their Japanese and Asian, you know, New Japan type correspondent. Just forgot his name. Apparently, he must be some type of wrestler. He came in the ring to interview her. He's going to interview her in Japanese, and Rose interrupted it, picked him up, power bombed him. First time she went to do it, she got him up in the air, like I said, and she kind of dropped him. But she recontrolled herself, resettled herself, got her bare footing, picked him up, boom, power bomb, sitting power bomb. I was like, damn. And he wasn't no small dude. He had to be at least 225, 230. He was thick. He wasn't very tall, but he was thick. And then Omega came out to stop it because I guess Omega and Rio got history over in Japan. Apparently he trained her or whatever, or got her ready for like America. So he came out to stop it, make sure nothing else happened. So I mean, first ever women's champion. Obviously, Rose is going to eventually get that belt. That's her belt. That's her division. Britt Baker on commentary, she didn't run down to the ring to help or nothing, which I was like, dang. And she barely talked on commentary either. So don't quite. That was kind of a. I don't know if they really thought that one out. They didn't have nothing for her to do. But like I said, that was probably match of the night. And then we get to our main event. You know, the 6-man tag between the Elite, which is the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega versus Chris Jericho and LAX. Santana and Ortiz. For those of you, that's what they not LAX. They Santana and Ortiz. But everybody knows it's LAX. And for this one, we're gonna use Too Sweet. So Tuesday night on TNT during the AEW Dynamite preview show, it was revealed that AEW champion Chris Jericho would team with Santana and Ortiz, who debuted by attacking the Young Bucks and the Lucha Bros after their ladder match at All Out. For the artist formerly known as the Latin American Exchange, LAX, to pick up a win in their first match with AEW, they would have to defeat the reunited Elite in the first ever Dynamite main event. Jericho teased starting with Omega, but it was Ortiz who got that honor. Omega took him down with his Santina to the floor and tried to head scissors on Jericho, only to find himself in the walls of Jericho. Matt and Nick Jackson made the save, dropping the AEW champion with a double super kick. They followed it up with stereo dives on Santana and Ortiz, leaving Omega in the square circle. Suddenly, Moxley slid into the square circle and attacked his full gear opponent. Their fight spilled out into the crowd where the aggressor pummeled Omega. This left the main event a 3-on-2 handicap match, with the Bucks forced to go on it alone. Backstage, Moxley dropped Omega with a butterfly DDT through a glass table. Yeah, he did his dirty deeds on a goddamn table. He took it though. He didn't drive or make his head into the table. He basically fell on it with his back. But anybody who knows John Moxley's early career, he's no stranger to putting his body through stuff. So that was good to see. And for them to do that too, a real table too, like a table you'll go and see at like a furniture store, was just sitting there, glass table, and they went through it. The heels cut off the ring, isolating Matt from his brother. Max scored a quick roll-up for a 2, but found himself right back on the receiving end of a pushing assault by Jericho and company. He finally created separation, dropping Ortiz over the top ropes and catching Santino with a spear. The alert Ortiz pulled Nick off the apron, though, preventing a much-needed hot tag. Jericho tagged in and proceeded to miss a line salt. Again, the heels prevented the tag by knocking Nick from the apron. A flipping cutter from the top rope allowed Matt to find a second gear, executing a trio of suplexes and make the tag. Nick exploded into the match, unleashing a flurry of strikes and a bulldog DDT combo to Santana and Ortiz. A moonsault for the top of the floor wiped out Ortiz at ringside. As the Young Bucks sent him up with a militia driver, Jericho re-entered the ring and caught Matt with a cold breaker. Jericho finished off Nick with a Judas effect for the pinfall win. After the bell, Cody made the save, only to be attacked by Guevara, his opponent from the first match. Apparently, the whole handshake thing was a setup. Dustin Rhodes hit the ring and unloaded on the heels, but quickly found himself on the receiving end of a beatdown by the debuting Jack Hager. Jack Hager, a.k.a. Jack Swagger, who was 3-0 in MMA, and now he wants to wrestle again. Don't know what that's about. I gotta find out, is he trying to do both? Because he can. I mean, he's not in UFC, so, because I know Dana doesn't mind letting people do both. So, and I assume if Dana allows it, then the other lesser promoters shouldn't have a problem with it. So we'll see how that happens. But he came in and the crowd just went nuts. He looked like he just came from watching the show. He wasn't in any ring gear. He had on jeans and a polo, and delivered power bombs and all type of craziness, and they just destroyed the Elite. So you had Guerrero, Jericho, LAX, and Jack Hager. Now I gotta start calling people by their actual names. Jack Hager. So it was great, man. Good first show. Thoroughly impressed. They ended on time. And like I said, there was no promos, really no vignettes except for Jay and Silent Bob. And then I guess Christopher Daniels, his group, ACU or something like that. They cut a little promo in DC about, they was acting like Secret Service, and the black dude did a nice Obama impersonation, by the way, before they finally decided that the town was crap, because they are Orange County something is what they are, because they from LA or whatever. And then after that little vignette, then they cut a promo about the tag. Like I said, it was set up a tag team tournament, and then the Lucha Bros came in and did their little saying that the crowd was thoroughly behind. And so it was a good match, man. Good match, good pay-per-view. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I guess next week is going to be all about the tag team tournament. And then they got a pay-per-view coming up too. So we'll see what happens, man. See what happens with the next one. The crowd was hot. It's huge arena. Like I said, it was production value, really impressed me. Referees, Earl Hebner was there, and Earl Hebner needed to sit down. He old. He should not be refereeing main events. He shouldn't even be refereeing. He should be a charge or a ref or something, a backstage role, like he was doing in the E. Or I haven't seen I don't know if it's the Hebner twins, which one Brian Hebner is the son of, but I haven't been seeing him in the E. So he should come over if they want a Hebner refereeing. But all in all, I thought it was great. I thought it was a good pay-per-view. For anybody who's, I mean, I'm a hardcore WWE fan, and I still watched AEW. So anybody that's still like on that bull mess about not going to give these guys a chance because they think they're direct competition, right there, you can have that. It's wrestling. You know, you got to sit back and realize that pretty much a lot of people were watching wrestling last night. You know, wrestling was the number one thing going on last night, and it was a good thing to see. I mean, flicking back and forth between USA and TNT, it brought me back to my childhood. So I thoroughly enjoyed that. I'm looking forward to the Wednesday Night Wars. Not going to do an NXT review, but I will give you Finn Balor came out and said that he's on NXT now. So WWE is going to be to keep up with these guys because they're going to have to, because they showed out. But they're going to be bringing, since NXT is 2 hours on network television, like I've been saying all along, you got to get more viable talent down there that's ring ready. You can't use that as a platform to get people better anymore, because now it's all about ratings. So you're going to be seeing more stars coming down there. And Tommaso Ciampa came back. So those are the two big things that happened, you know, for me not doing a review. So I don't know if that's going to be, should be on the network. I'm pretty sure they'll put it on the network so you can check it out. So if you didn't get to check out NXT, go check it out. And if you didn't get to check out AEW, I don't know if you could find, all you slick people, find a pirated way to find it and watch it, or find it online somewhere, or just tune in next Wednesday and watch it. Like I said, I don't know if they're going to do it next week, but they showed it, and then they did an encore directly after. So you'll have two chances to watch it. So, like again, make sure you guys smash that like button, and follow me on my social media. And until next time, Manu Brewer, Manu 316, William Manu Brewer, Manu 316 on Twitter. Love you guys. Peace.